r/rules horror. Posted by u/autistic-horror-fan. Rules of the Christmas tree. DW, Gore. Last week I decided to do some Christmas shopping. I saw this store full of Christmas decorations. Well, I needed some decorations, so I bought a Christmas tree and some blue ornaments. When I handed the cashier the money, he handed me a small folded piece of paper. "Read this when you're back home," he whispered to me, so I slipped it into my pocket. I believed this was just a owner's manual, like how to keep the Christmas tree alive. God, was I wrong. When I got home, I placed the Christmas tree in the corner of a room in my small apartment. I started decorating it before I remembered the piece of paper, so I took it out my pocket and started reading. "Thank you for purchasing a Christmas tree at our store. There are a few rules you must follow for your safety with this tree and what you have brought into your house. 1. If the tree seems to be wilting, spray some water on it. If you feel as if you are being watched, ignore it. 2. Do not place any red decorations on the tree. It does not like the color red. 3. If you see something decorating the tree, hide under something. It does not like you. It does not like anyone. 4. If you have a pet and it seems to act different around the tree, kill it. It is already infected. 5. Do not let anyone touch the tree. They will become infected. 6. If you notice a discoloring on your eyes or veins, kill anyone in the house with you, then stab yourself. 7. Don't look at it in the eyes. 8. Lock all doors after 5 p.m. and sleep. If it thinks you are awake after 6:30 p.m. you will be killed by it. 9. If you look in a mirror and see it behind you. Rule 7 does not apply. Stare into its eyes until it seems to disappear. 10. If at 7 a.m. you hear your family's screams for help, ignore it. They are already dead. I ran out of my apartment and tried to find the store, but it was completely boarded up, so I sat at the side of the store trying to comprehend what I just read. I took a deep breath and began to walk back to my apartment, thinking that it was a prank from the cashier, but it's better to be safe than sorry. When I got back, it was 4:30 p.m. and began to go on my phone and watch TikTok. When I looked at the time, it was 5:01 p.m. Rule 8. Lock all doors at 5 p.m. and be asleep by 6:30 p.m. or it will kill you. I ran and locked the doors, petting my cat before I ran to my small bed. I looked at the time, 5:20 p.m. I lied down and forced myself to sleep. When I woke up, everything seemed normal. I went into TH's room with my Christmas tree and continued decorating. I realized after a couple moments that the star I got of my mom wasn't on the tree yet, so I went and got it from my storage box. When I opened the storage box, I realized there was a spillage of red paint. I knew it was a bad idea to keep my art stuff in the same box as sharp objects. The paint had already dried on the star, so I decided just to place it on the tree. When I got back, I realized something didn't feel right. I wasn't being watched, just a sense of dread. I decided that I would just ignore it when something came to mind. Rule 2. Don't place red decorations on the tree. It hates the color red. I panicked and threw the star across the room, almost hitting my cat. "Sorry," I said to him. Walking through the hall, I noticed the time, 7:30 a.m. Good, I didn't hear any screams. Good, my family is okay. Later in the day, my cat was rubbing his head against the tree. I obviously found this a bit strange but thought nothing of it until he started hissing at me if I got close to the tree. Shit. I took the piece of paper from my table, then read Rule 4. Then I looked at my cat, then back at the paper, then at my cat again. I can't kill him. I can't kill him. I can't kill him. So I didn't. Ever since then I felt a presence around me, but I didn't care. I pretty much forgot about the rules until my tree started wilting, so I sprayed it with water. While I did this, I felt as if I was being watched, so I turned around and froze in shock. The walls were covered in a black substance that seemed to be dripping down the walls. A shadow-like figure stood looming over me. This strange man was wearing a bright green suit with a top hat. There were some splotches of blood on his top hat and bow tie. I stood staring at him until he plunged his hand into my chest, grabbing my heart and biting at my last cohesive thought, being the words. Rule 1, Rule 3, Rule 7. The last thing I saw was the creature disappearing and the walls becoming normal before I choked on my own blood and died. Next story of this video. Posted by u/diascoria_lover. Rules for my indoor jungle. Thank you for taking care of my plants this weekend. They can be a bit fussy and need some special maintenance. No worries, this guide should help you out. 1. Do not read these instructions all at once. I cannot stress this enough. Once you read an instruction, complete it and move to the next. I do have cameras in my house, and if I see you read them all at once, I will be very upset and you will be banned from my jungle. I'm sure that won't happen though. Smile. 2. Next to my bathroom door, you will find a small bag that has a watering can full of water, pruners, and fertilizer. Please bring this with you before entering my jungle. 3. Locate the door downstairs covered in vines and pour some water on the door. These are Vietnamese jelly vines and they can be quite aggressive weeds. This will allow for the vines to unlatch the door and let you in. 4. You may feel a very brief sensation of falling once you step foot in the door. This is nothing to be concerned about. All the pollen can be a bit overwhelming. Once you are fully in my jungle, take a look around and admire the beauty. I built this 100 square miles room to perfectly mimic the Venezuelan jungle. I even added a fake sun and clouds. However, keep on track and never go off the trail. There are some wild animals that aren't keen on meeting new people. 5. Never pick a single flower or leaf off of any plant. I know it's tempting, but again, I have cameras and the consequences are unimaginable. I'm sure that won't happen though. Smile. 6. Walk about 1 mile on the trail until you see a 34 feet tall tree covered in blooms. This is my Brugmansia tree. Please water it and leave a lock of your hair before going further. If you don't leave a lock of your hair, you will hear faint animalistic noises in the distance. If this happens, finding a place to hide is a fool's errand because it already knows where you are. You can use the pruners to cut off a piece of hair. Once you are done, head left. 7. Soon, you will come across a large boulder covered in moss and some of my favorite plants, mini orchids. Locate my patch of Lepanthes pulchella and spray them with fertilizer. Once they are fertilized, you should see them erupt in small, pink flowers in seconds. This is a good sign, and means you have been spared. If they do not bloom, you will hear a faint growling in the distance. Head back to the Brugmansia quickly and calmly. If they have bloomed, leave another offering of hair. It is the only thing capable of absorbing the pollen and preventing you from passing out. 8. To your left, you will notice a thick green vine in one of the trees. This is my Dischidia major. Take some fertilizer and pour it in all of the large pods. This may take some time. While you do so, it is recommended to hold your breath. These pods tend to unintentionally trap small animals and can smell quite foul. If at any point you hear whispering coming from the pods, do not put your ear up to them. Under no circumstances. Please. For the love of God. 9. You may be questioning if my jungle is safe by now. I think you are insane for questioning this because it is absolutely safe. These plants aren't dangerous. They are just very misunderstood and want love and respect like any living creature. The garden is very safe and secure. I swear on your own life. 10. Walk past the boulder and go right. After about 3 miles of walking through beautiful scenery, you will find another beautiful tree. This is my custard apple tree. This beauty is my own hybrid that I bred to have beautiful golden bark, delicate porcelain leaves, and bright green fruit. After watering it, I encourage you to try a fruit. They taste like vanilla creme mixed with cardamom and raspberries with just a touch of peppery heat. These fruits have very relaxing effects and are a true treat. Once you eat a fruit, lay down and relax. Look at the sky, and know everything is as it should be. You've been walking for quite a while, and I thank you for caring for my plants as much as I do. 11. Assuming you are reading this and haven't died yet, you are probably confused why it's dark. You fell asleep after eating the fruit because the relaxing properties were too strong, but not strong enough to put you to rest forever. Good thing is the fruit's properties last for about 6 hours depending on the person, and you will feel extremely indifferent about whatever I tell you from this point on. This is good, as it will make this final chore way less painful for you. Head past the custard apple tree and go off trail. 12. You will find a dock at the head of a massive bog. At night, when the bog is covered in fireflies and frogs, it is quite otherworldly, but I doubt that really matters to you in your numb state. At the end of this dock, you will find one large, ominous red plant. This is my Helianthera hybrid, a type of pitcher plant endemic to Venezuela. They are carnivorous, with this hybrid I created being large enough to fit a whole human inside. The anglerfish-like protrusion coming out of the top of the pitcher is full of sweet nectar intended to attract insects, or in this case, humans. You may also notice a ladder propped up against the plant, tall enough to be able to climb to the top of the pitcher. I am truly sorry that it has come to this, but this is your final task. Please crawl inside the pitcher. The alternative to not doing so is truly horrific, and the door to the exit is locked. This is your fate. The last thing you will ever do. Now please, climb up the ladder and descend into nothingness. You have traveled such a distance for this to be your fate. How unfortunate. But you can find more purpose in the next life. Me and my little jungle truly, deeply, thank you. Good night, brave adventurer.